And joining me now is retired Major General Dennis Thompson, former force commander of the multinational force and observers in the Sinai. Thank you very much, Major General, for joining us. Now, a drone was launched towards Netanyahu's residence. How will Israel respond?
I believe Israel will continue their attacks on the southern part of Lebanon, including the southern suburbs of Beirut. And they'll continue to go after the leadership of Hezbollah. They'll continue to go after what they consider to be military targets, whether those are missile and rocket launch sites or command and control nodes. And they will continue to use a rather elevated scale for collateral damage, which is why we see such heavy civilian casualties, and not the sorts of not the sort of order of magnitude of collateral damage that's typically accepted by the West, which is why you hear the statements from the Secretary of Defense of the United States, Mr. Austin.
That's right. Now, Israel and Hamas are signaling they aren't ready to end the war. Does that shut the door on the hope for a ceasefire here?
It appears to. We know that yesterday, the Hamas's deputy political chair, Mr. Khalid Haya, while he was speaking memorializing the death of Yahya Sinwar, mentioned that he will keep the maximalist position that Hamas had. So that means a permanent ceasefire. It includes a complete withdrawal of Israeli forces from the Gaza Strip, and that includes the Philadelphi Corridor, which Israel reoccupied recently, an area that they had withdrawn from in 2005. Also, that they're looking for high-value prisoners to be exchanged for any Israeli hostages, and they would like, of course, Gaza to be rebuilt. So this maximalist position that's been taken by Mr. Haya is no different from that which Yahya Sinwar had, and so it's unlikely, given that Israel is not likely to compromise either, that we're going to see the ceasefire that we thought might be possible with the death of Mr. Sinwar.
What could this mean for the remaining hostages?
More of the same, unfortunately. I don't think either the hostages or the civilian population of both the Gaza Strip or southern Lebanon are going to get any relief as a result of what's occurred over the last few days. It was some thought it was a possible inflection point, but it turns out it hasn't been. And so I think we're going to see this war that has expanded to those two areas expand, and we still haven't seen the response from of Israel versus Iran after their strike at the end of on the 1st of October of this month.
Now, I want to get your assessment on something said by Joe Biden. He is suggesting a ceasefire for Hezbollah could be easier to bring about than between Israel and Hamas. Do you agree with that?
Well, possibly. Of course, the fact that Israel keeps targeting the leadership of these organizations, and it's important to note that Mr. Haya, he lives in Doha in Qatar, and so he's safe there, and he can negotiate on behalf of Hamas. But many of the Hezbollah leaders have already been taken out. So it's difficult to negotiate if you keep killing the person who's going to be at the other side of the table from you. But I imagine that because if they can take Hezbollah out in terms of negotiate a settlement with them, then that'll certainly relieve a lot of pressure on Israel's behalf. I'm not certain that either one, Hezbollah or Hamas, is easier than the other.
That is our time, sir. We will have to leave it there. Thank you very much, as always, for being here.
Thank you, Renee.
That is retired Major General Dennis Thompson, former force commander of the multinational force and observers in the Sinai.